Hey guys, how's everyone doing? This is Nick from ForexForNoobs.com with the daily analysis. Today is, I forgot to start this recording thingy. Oh, there we go. Right, so yeah, today is Wednesday, the 15th of January, 2020, and the time is 13:00, or just, let's say, 1 p.m. here in the UK. You're looking at AUD/USD daily chart. In today's analysis, we're going to be looking for price action setups across all of these pairs that are listed here on the right. One sec, guys. My drawing tools aren't working. Oh, no. Here they go. There's a bit of weird lag there. Anyway, all these pairs listed to the right. So let's get started. We're also going to be discussing a setup that I got in yesterday, EURJPY 12 hour. Let's start with that since that's an active trade. Also doing a live trade video for this one. And we're also going to take a look at the news. So we're doing a bunch of things here. Let's start off with the news, then we'll look at the trade I took yesterday, and we'll go from there. So first things first, ECB monetary policy meeting accounts. That's happening today. This is semi-important. Happens 8 times per year. 4 weeks after the minimum bid rate is announced, it says here. So yeah, just watch out around. Wait, this is set wrong. Oh, sorry, that's tomorrow. Sorry, I was misreading the calendar there, guys. That's pretty silly. Because today there's nothing. Tomorrow at 12:30 is the monetary policy meeting minute, so we've got to watch out for that one tomorrow. Let's not worry about all this other stuff. We'll just look at this in tomorrow's analysis. Let's not worry too much about that. So back to the actual chart. EURJPY. Now, I entered short on EURJPY. It's not working out too well for me. It's struggling to get a lower low at the moment. 3 consistent higher lows, although not that much higher. They are higher lows, and we've just seen a higher high from today's candle. So to be honest, it's not looking great. I might consider exiting this one at some point in the near future. What's in the near future in terms of trading the 12-hour charts? I'm talking about, the next day, the next 24 hours. I'll probably be looking at exiting this if it doesn't gain any significant ground. The reason being, I'm looking for sellers to take control of price. I thought sellers were taking control. They're not. So if they do not take control, there's the whole reason for me entering this trade, is null. There's no reason to stay in a trade when sellers aren't taking control. So I'll be keeping an eye on this, seeing how it plays out. Traditionally, my first trade of the year is a loss, so wait, did I take a trade last week? I can't even remember. Last week was such a weird week with the Iran stuff that the markets were all crazy. Can't even remember if I took a trade. I don't think I did, though. Actually, I just want to quickly check a USDCAD. Yeah, okay. So that's just a small time frame thing that I'm doing. I just wanted to see how that was progressing. Right. Let's take a quick look at AUD/USD. Is anyone short on AUD/USD? I was waiting for price to push up a bit further into resistance, but it's already started turning around. Unfortunately, it didn't push up as high as I wanted. The reason I was waiting for price to push further up is because as this indecision candle stood, we just didn't get a good entry and stop. We didn't get a good risk to reward ratio, basically. Yeah, I didn't think so. I'm going to still keep a close eye on it. It could still push up. We'll see what that does. Yeah, Nothing happening on EURJPY. We're looking for a potential range to form, but it never formed. Take this one off the list. Euro New Zealand off the list. These are marked orange from yesterday's analysis. Yesterday we had a members only analysis, so that's why some of these are marked orange. Still waiting for GBP USD to fall into support, so we'll keep an eye on that. New Zealand USD is finally touching support and moving into it, so I'm going to keep a close eye on this one too. I want to see if it stalls out on support or if it breaks through. So we're keeping a close eye on this. I'll get back to this after we go through the rest of the pairs. And same with USD NOK. I'll get back to them after we get through the rest of the pairs. So let's look and see if we can find any new setups. Nice USDCHF short that was taken on the forum by Loriento. Don't know if he's here right now. That was a nice trade. Yeah. EURJPY is, I guess, somewhat interesting. We talked about this yesterday too. I'm going to mark this as orange. We'll come back to it when I do the wrap up, and I'll explain what I'm thinking with that one. But it looks like a good potential short. Well, good is stretching it, stretching the truth. Be looking more and more on the 12-hour charts to see some initial stalling lately. I prefer to trade on the daily still, but the 12-hour just gives you an idea of where price is stalling out. That's a big move. That's a big move. There's a potential for price to stall there. Unlikely though. Seeing if it's if there's a valid resistance area there. I'm gonna keep this one that was there before, but it also seems to be a valid. It's not that great. No, I'm not gonna do anything here. Oops. Definitely gonna adjust this one down. Oh, hey, Lorenzo. Was just talking about you. And your awesome USDCHF trade that you took and shared to the forum. All right, so we have a little bit going on today. We have AUD/USD. We're obviously seeing some heavy resistance in this area. Now it's already started to turn around. What I would prefer would be for price to push further up into resistance for a short. So it looks like it might already turn around and we might not get a trade here, but it could also push further into resistance. If it pushes further into resistance, I'll be looking for a short trade there. GBP USD, we're looking for this to push into support. It's moving down at the moment. We just wanted to push into support for a potential long trade here. So these ones are a while from working out. Now, New Zealand USD, this one is a little bit more, well, it could give us a potential trade a lot sooner than the first two. It's still contingent on price stalling out on support here, which right now it looks like it probably won't do because we're seeing quite a strong bearish move on New Zealand. But if it does stop, then I'll be looking for a long trade here. If it breaks through, there's definitely potential for a short trade here on New Zealand USD, but that's a longer way off because we'd need it to break through and then retest this as resistance to continue down. So short term, if it stops, I'm looking for a long trade. Over the longer term, if it breaks straight through and closes below today, then it pulls back up, I'll be looking for a short trade. USD NOK, just waiting for price to push into resistance for a potential short. It's not there yet, so again, this one's a while from happening. EURJPY, this one's somewhat interesting on the 12-hour. We're seeing price push up to resistance. It's stalling out pretty heavily now. So there's a potential short trade forming here. Something like this, depending on the close of the current 12-hour candle, could do something like this. Entry below the low of the indecision candle, stop loss above the high, and a target somewhere down here. But that's just the most basic option. There's definitely other things you could do, like enter on a retrace, something like that, because this area down here is somewhat tricky. Obviously, we'll discuss this on the forum if it actually does turn into a setup. This 12-hour candle is going to close in around 8 hours, 40 minutes. So we'll see how it closes and go from there. Euro USD, this one's also somewhat interesting. We've got price pushing up into resistance. So I want to see price stalling on this resistance area on the 12-hour. Also, we could go as low as the 8-hour, the 6-hour, looking for price to push further into resistance and stall out. And New Zealand CHF, very similar to New Zealand USD, has dropped right down into support. Looks like it's going to break straight through, but if it stalls out, then there's potential for a long. If it breaks straight through, then there's potential for a short. If it breaks straight through, that's going to take longer for the setup to form. Shorter term would be a long trade. Longer term would be a short trade. We just need price to stall here. So that wraps it up for the analysis, guys. Are there any questions? I'm going to give you guys just a few more minutes in case anyone is typing a question and you type slow. And if not, we're going to wrap this one up. BTC climb. Let's take a look at the cryptos we haven't done for a while. Ooh, that is a climb and a half. Breaking some bearish trend lines and all. Interesting. Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it drops back down after hitting 9K. BTC really reacts at those psych levels. All those people who bought a 9K will be like, oh my god, it's breaking even, I'm going to get out. And they'll sell all their Bitcoin. Interesting. See how it goes. See if it continues to climb. But I do agree, if it hits 9K, I would imagine it will fall back down, but then probably continue to climb after that. After that initial pullback. But yeah, other than that, guys, doesn't look like there is any questions. So I'm going to wrap this one up. Thank you guys for attending. Keep an eye on the pairs we discussed. Doing another analysis tomorrow. Tomorrow's analysis is going to be at 10 a.m., a more normal time. So yeah, thank you guys for attending. We'll discuss all of these further on the forum. Keep an eye on EURJPY, see how that one pans out for me and those of you who joined me on this setup. Keep a close eye on New Zealand USD and New Zealand CHF, but it does look like these are just going to keep moving down. I would be surprised if we get price stalling out on this support area, but you never know. You never know. It could stall out. It could give us a setup. So yeah, keep an eye on these. Thank you guys for attending, and I'll see you guys for tomorrow's analysis.